Hey guys, welcome to my first ever TV 2 Sims video. This is a fun little series I want to do where I'm gonna take my favorite shows, create them, the cast, like some of the cast members, some of the like houses and stuff from the show, and make them in The Sims. And I would also like to nerd out and talk about it because that is one of the things I like. That's one of my personality traits is I'm a nerd. I like to go hard and just I love talking about stuff I love and I love TV. Um, Makes me sound lazy. Yes, I might be, but oh well. I think I'm gonna take my glasses off for this though because so it's gonna be a little hard for me to see. But there's a freaking glare. I haven't figured out the whole lighting thing with this. Anyways, hey guys, we are starting out with Riverdale. Um, I know Riverdale gets a lot of hate for being kind of cringy. I agree, it's a little cringy, but I like the storyline for the most part. I love the casting, um, and I also really like the Archie comics. So I'm starting out with who I see as the main character because it's based off the Archie comics. So I'm starting with Archie Andrews and his family. Um, I that doesn't necessarily mean that Archie is my favorite character because I'll tell you what, he honestly isn't. I like him. I think he's a good character. Uh, but I think he has some downfalls. Um, Archie kind of has like a heroic, like needs to be the hero all the time, but it kind of gets him into some trouble, and it almost with the season that we're on now. By the way, please don't watch this unless you're fully caught up because I might spoil some things. Just putting that out there. Archie always being a hero has sometimes put not only himself in danger, but his friends and his family in danger, and that's not good. Um, Example, like even in the earlier seasons when he reformed the Red Circle, and then later on like the Dark Circle and all that, like started feuds between North Side and South Side, and that like caused, and then now the issues with like Dodger, like and him like trying to protect people instead of just going to the police about it. That's what I don't understand about any television show. You could so easily just go to the police. Go to the police. Go to the police. But no, that's too hard. Let's take things into our own hands. And that's the only issue I have with Archie, really. That and some of his relationships. But you know, it's also something that I like about him. It depends on the situation. Um, oh my god. Archie's father, Fred Andrews, played by Luke Perry. I'm gonna cry about this. Before anything happened to Luke Perry, first of all, rest in peace. He passed away last year. Oh, well, yeah, because it's 2020 now. Earlier last year, I'm trying to, I can't remember exactly. Anyways, but so the memorial they made for him at the beginning of the season, um, of this season, for Fred Andrews, Luke Perry was beautiful. I was kind of worried how they were going to handle ending Fred Andrews, like how what they were going to do, but I think it was so nice. Like I don't want to ruin things for anyone who's watching. You shouldn't be watching, but I just like how it was a very heroic thing because Archie gets his heroicness from his father. Um, if you don't remember, just a little catch up. There he was. Fred was helping a woman on the side of the road after he was um, coming home from a business trip, and he was helping a woman with her car, and another car came driving by, and he kind of like blocked the way so he would get her and not the woman, which is so very Andrew's family, I guess you could say. Very Fred, very Archie. So he put himself out there, and that's so wonderful. And just the whole message that the whole episode brought, because in the end, Archie was obviously angry his father died because of a driver who they assumed was a drunk driver. So he ends up finding the guy's house. He knocks on the door. The person who he assumes is the one who did it, the driver, opens the door, and he, starts yelling at him, nearly beating the crap out of this guy. And then the son comes out, and he's just like, "No, stop! Like, it was me. It wasn't my dad. He's taking the fall for me." And I'm like, what? Some people may think it's cheesy, but like I think it was a good way to I don't know, I think it was I like how they did that because it kind of just segue it was a good ending to the Fred Andrews story. Um it was just nice and how Archie was just like, "You know what? I'm to my understanding he didn't press charges." And I like that. I like how he's just like, "You know what? I'm just going to drop it because I don't want this guy, this kid, to lose his dad like I lost my dad." Oh, I'm gonna cry. That episode made me bawl my eyes out. Um, Mary Andrews, Archie's mom, Fred's ex, but she keeps the last name from my understanding. Molly Ringwald. Let me say, when I first started the series, I didn't like look too much into it before I started. I was just like, "Oh, I've heard good things about this." But when I found out that Molly Ringwald played Archie's mom, I was pumped. I love Molly Ringwald. She is one of my favorites, especially from older movies, because I really like all those, 80s movies, yada yada. Um, I was very pleased to find out that she was in this. I love how in the new season I don't know, there was a lot of times where I kind of felt like she was just there. Like she was just there and not really providing too much to the storyline. Maybe I don't know, maybe I just like wasn't paying attention, but I like how in the new season, the Thanksgiving episode, she uh she holds that gun up to that woman and she stands up for her baby. she I like that. I liked that Mary's role in the show is becoming a lot more predominant. And I also like how she's staying in the show. Like, obviously she wasn't gonna leave her kid like by himself right after the dad died. I really like how she's like more predominant in the show now. Anyways, now, personally, the most important member of the Andrews family is Vegas Andrews, their lovely little puppy. Um, can we just talk about, of course we can talk about it because I decide what we talk about because this is my time to shine. But I absolutely loved it. Made me, I'm emotional. We should all, I'm a Cancer, by the way, in case nobody knew. Um, when Archie leaves home, so he breaks out of prison, that juvie hall, and he is at home for a while, realizes it's dangerous because it's putting his family at risk. He leaves, very heroic. Yeah, I know. But he takes Vegas with him because Vegas is a trustworthy dog. Like, it's very nice. Like, yeah, it made me a little like, "Oh, you're taking, that dog away from the home he's used to." But also, Archie is the home that he's used to. So, like, if I were to go anywhere, I know that my dog would want me to take him with, it was, it was so sweet. I loved how Archie brought him, and it kind of just shows, like, dogs are pure and dogs like are there for you. They will watch out for you. They are guardians. There's my dog. Isn't he cute? He's sleeping. Uh thank goodness, because earlier he was just kind of like chewing on one of his toys right there, and I was starting to think that this was not going to be fun to do. Okay, so now that we are on the build portion of this video, we have been for a minute, you probably tell. I'm watching this in the background, by the way, just so I know what I'm doing, or know what I'm saying, what I should talk about anyways. Uh, so, the easiest part of houses to find for, when you're making from shows and movies and all that, is the exterior, obvious, well, in Riverdale cases. Um, but so the exterior I tried to make as accurate as possible. There are going to be some instances where it's not 100% accurate because I couldn't see that angle of the house, or like it just didn't work with the plot of the land I started on and I didn't realize till afterwards. So the house isn't going to be 100% accurate, but that's okay. It's like I really enjoyed it. It is my perspective of how the house works. Like there are some rooms where I thought they should go one place, but they actually go another, and I just kind of like the setup. The backyard is the one thing that I kind of wish I could have worked with a little more, but it wasn't till the end that I kind of realized, oh, actually, I don't think that's supposed to be like that. Or I remember there's like one episode in the new season where they're in the backyard. I'm pretty sure it might be either the episode with Archie, with Fred Andrews, I mean, or after that, when they bring him home and they do the kind of like the thing in the backyard, because it's like, what is it, Labor Day weekend? Uh, I might be thinking of the wrong season. Anyways, I remember they showed the backyard, and like the back of the house is not how I assumed the back of the house would look, because it's very a townhousey looking place. Which, by the way, it doesn't make sense that a house that looks to me like a townhouse would be right next to Betty Cooper's house, which is nowhere like that. And they're supposed to be neighbors, but this is an actual house, and when you go there in real life, they're not really neighbors, so the layout of the house also kind of conflicts with that and confuses me. So the bedrooms upstairs, I don't really know about placement. Also with the rooms downstairs too, upstairs and downstairs. Um, but yeah, the backyard, I kind of just, I don't know. It was something I was willing to sacrifice because the rest of the house I wanted to make a little more accurate. Let's talk about Archie's relationships. When the show first starts, um, the one of the cringiest things one of the cringiest scenes in my opinion. Okay, there's probably more cringy scenes, but one that comes to mind is like I want to say it's probably the very first episode ever. Um, Archie's been away for the summer. He's been working for like for Fred with his construction company, and Kevin is in at Betty's house, and he looks over through the window and he says like, "Oh, Archie got hot," or like, and I'm just like, yeah. I just never understood those like shows or movies or like Girl Next Door, Boy Next Door, where they're just
like, oh my god, like magically over the summer, like this person got so attractive. Like,
you're not telling me that he didn't like he gained like all of those abs from one summer. That stuff takes work, you know, and it makes people think that you can just so easily get hot over the summer, and it's just not true, and it's false advertising. Okay, it takes a lot of work to get hot. Still not there yet. um but yeah, so that when I first started watching the show, it kind of made me feel like I kind of wanted Betty and Archie to kind of have a thing. Um, like I know they had like a little bit of a flirty thing going on, like, but I kind of thought they were going to end up together. But I will say I'm almost happy that they didn't because I feel like too many times there will be a show or movie where like two people have been friends for a really long time and they end up like together, dating, get married, blah blah blah. And I think that's a little dumb in my opinion. Maybe not dumb, but I don't necessarily like it. It doesn't have to happen every single time. And it seems like it is happening every single time and it's really obnoxious. Why can't we just have people like characters who are friends since kids and they just remain friends because that happens sometimes whether it's like two guys, two females, it doesn't matter the gender, like trans, whatever. In this case, a boy and a girl. It's always typical where it's just like boy and a girl, friends since childhood, they're gonna get married. I don't like that. So, when I first started watching the show, I was very like, yeah, Betty Cooper and Archie Andrews are gonna get together. But now I'm really glad that they didn't do that. Not saying that I necessarily like Veronica and Archie together. I personally don't really care for Veronica. She's brought a lot of like bad like she's brought a lot of bad to Archie in my opinion. Like her dad, Hiram, like freaking sending him to prison and like what just constant there's just everything. Like I just don't think they're good together. Like it's very like a very bad relationship. I liked when he was with Josie, even though he was still kind of hung up on Veronica. I kind of liked, they were into music. It was just kind of, it seemed like a healthier relationship to me, but still not that healthy because he was still hung up on Veronica. Um, Maybe we should just teach teenagers that it's okay to be single, but I guess that's not the message we want to send. Um, but I will say it's all better than Miss Grundy. When Miss Grundy was in the show, I thought it was a little weird. I don't know, I wish they just never would have put any sort of Miss Grundy in the show, but I do not like how Miss Grundy in the comics is like an elderly she's an elderly woman and they make her like this hot music teacher in the television series and I'm not here for it. I don't like it. I'm glad they kind of nipped it in the butt kind of quickly. It did add a little bit because like she was one of the Black Hood's victims. Yeah. Um so there was kind of that, but also it just I don't know. Like student teacher relationships, I feel like it's been done a lot and maybe I just watch a lot of shows where it happens, but some things I think are overdone a little. Um I would have been okay if they didn't have that at all. I would have been okay if they would have actually add a Miss Grundy teacher who maybe like was older and could have added some more like storyline to her. Like there could have been a whole thing with that, like a mean teacher, which they kind of have like this new principal. What is it, Honey? I can't remember exactly. Um, who I don't like, by the way. But also, I don't like how they introduced this new principal and everyone was kind of like pissed at him and then they kind of like died off. Like there hasn't been too much with him except him kicking Cheryl off of the cheer squad. Vixens. Whatever. Uh, so Archie's room, the placement, I don't exactly know where I know from pictures I saw, I know it seemed narrower and smaller, so this seemed like the best location. But like I put Betty, the Cooper house next door, and like their windows are supposed to line up and they're supposed to be able to see each other quite easily. I don't know how that works. Is gonna work necessarily. But like I said, in real life, the two houses are not next to each other. They just kind of make it look like they are. Whatever. Um, they don't really show the rest of his house too much. Like they don't show like the other bedrooms. They don't show any hallways really. They show the bathroom in like a few scenes where people are either getting nasty or shoving people in the shower to get them to act right. I don't know. So a lot of this I kind of just like don't show. You will be able to download this off the gallery. My my gallery tag is Jamie Nerding Out. So it will be available. I'm not planning on using any custom content for any of these. First of all, I don't have custom content downloaded at all. But I maybe I will eventually. But for these videos or for these builds, I do not want to use any custom content because I want people to be able to download them. And if you would like to add your own custom content to make it a little more realistic or fix it up to make it more realistic or to how you would view the house, I would absolutely love that. Please tag me. Maybe we can use like like hashtag Jamie Nerding Out or yeah, I would just if you do that to any of my builds, I have a lot on there. If you want to fix them up to how you would like, I would absolutely love that. That'd be so cool. Uh, but yeah, I think I am going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching. Next week I am going to be doing the Cooper household. Betty Cooper is maybe one of my favorite characters next to Jughead, but I'm gonna just go with Cooper House first because it's right next door to the to the Andrews house. Anyways, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video, comment, tell me who your favorite character is. Um, yeah. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.